Yo, what the heck is up, guys? It's your boy G Quiz,
And it's your boy T Dot Boogie.
and today we're here to break down all of this crazy shit that happened over this past week one of the 2023 NFL season. Wow, Boogie. We saw a lot of ups, we saw a lot of downs, we saw a lot of smiles, but we also saw a lot of frowns.
Certainly did.
What was the craziest thing that you saw coming into this week, bro?
I probably would have to go with Matthew Stafford. We all thought he was completely he's just smoked. Like he's kind of done. He can't get it done anymore. It was great that they spent the draft pick to get him, but they're not going to do anything else. And then he's out here throwing 35 yard outs to like a receiver who's completely blanketed and fitting the ball into a teacup, as Bill Barnwell said.
Yeah, man. I mean, really just going to show you why the Rams spent so much capital to get him. Of course, they did get that Super Bowl over our faithful Bengals.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Yeah, no, I won't. But
What was the craziest thing you saw, buddy?
wow. Shit, dude. The craziest thing I saw was the top three quarterbacks in the league all losing in week one. Absolutely wild. Josh Allen looked like shit. Joe Burrow looked even worse, if that's even possible. And Mahomes, he didn't look bad, but just didn't look like the usual self, It was just really it was weird, man. It was weird. I really don't know how else to put it besides uncharacteristic of all three of those guys. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a better game from all of them, Burrow included, moving forward.
Yeah. The movement this week, Tua went from like an outside chance at MVP at somewhere along like sixth or seventh on the list all the way to second because of his performance this week. And that's Mr. Concussion himself.
No doubt. And we'll definitely speak more about that once we, get down there to the Miami at LA Chargers review there. But holy shit, man. What a wild week. We might as well just kick it off, Boogie. You ready to get down?
Let's do it.
All right, hell yeah. First off, we had Carolina visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta was favored by 3.5, and the final there was Atlanta 24, Carolina 10. Boogie, what did you see from this one?
Great start to our week so far with our betting numbers. The biggest thing I saw was that the Atlanta Falcons are, as we expected, they're being carried by their running game and their defense. Their running game outpaced the passing game 130 yards to 91 yards. So despite the fact that the offense could only muster 221 yards, which is actually less than the Carolina Panthers managed, it was just the essential work of the defense and the essential work of one of our favorite guys on the planet, former Bengal, Jesse Bates III, getting 2 picks off of Bryce Young and also adding on a forced fumble that he managed to recover. Those 3 takeaways were the dagger in the heart of the Carolina Panthers this week, and a rough debut for Bryce Young.
Yeah, 100%. And really holding on to that trend that you should never bet with a week one rookie quarterback. Really just got exposed out there. Atlanta looked really good, man. A lot like we talked about last time, the running game, one of the best offensive lines in the league, really took hold. Algier, thank you. Sorry, I always want to say Altair. I'm a big Assassin's Creed nerd, but that's neither here nor there. He definitely shredded the defense. I think he had like 90 on the ground, if not more. And then, of course, Bijan Robinson making his debut, catching a ball, making one man miss in the red zone, and then running through another guy to get his first touchdown in the league. Atlanta's got something really, really special here. I didn't see a lot out of Kyle Pitts, and I didn't see a lot that I liked out of Desmond Ridder. Granted, this is just week one. So again, we'll do our week 4 evaluations of where we see these teams going. And we'll have a better idea. Once like 1/4 of the season has been concluded, as with every year. But I don't know. Carolina has just got a lot of questions that need answered, man. They need a running game. They protected Bryce Young well, but not great. So when you're betting on this team moving forward, man, just be very, very careful. Unless they're playing somebody like the Houston Texans, which could end up being like a shootout for whatever reason. Carolina just is not. They just don't have the sauce right now. Can they get there? I believe so. Frank Reich has always proven in the longevity of his career as the seasons progress further and further, or as the season progresses, pardon me, he'll be able to really develop a game plan and come out and put Bryce Young in the best position to win. But it did not look that way on Sunday.
No.
No, no, not at all. Another rookie QB that did not look their best. Of course, we have the Houston Texans, CJ Stroud, visiting MTT Bank something arena, I guess, to face the Baltimore Ravens, something like that. MT&T. I don't know. There's too many banks and financial institutions. Discussions for another day. However,
many initialisms.
Yeah. Too many initialisms. Baltimore, of course, favored by 9.5, and they rolled 25-9. Definitely covered there. It was a good cover. Of course, Lamar Jackson coming off that a brand new contract. But before I word vomit, I'm going to go ahead and let T handle this one.
Yeah, Coach Harbaugh and his Baltimore Ravens really they brought out the Old Bay seasoning. They covered the Houston Texans in it and just, blackened that fish and then had it for lunch. The game was a scoregami, so that's something to celebrate this week, and that's probably about the only thing that the Houston Texans will celebrate this week. Just getting absolutely shellacked by the Baltimore Ravens, but I mean the Ravens don't have much to celebrate either, because in the course of this shellacking, they lost 5 players, and 4 of them are still not practicing this week. Mark Andrews, the tight end, is back, but Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Williams, both safeties for the Ravens, are not practicing.
Yeah, one's got a torn pec. I believe it's
I think it's Marlon. And Ronnie Stanley, the tackle, and Tyler Linderbaum, the center, are not practicing either.
Yeah, that is not good.
Not good. So, the center of the field's going to be open for the game in Cincinnati, the home opener on Sunday, and it sounds like the left side of the line is going to be compromised for Lamar Jackson, allowing plenty of opportunities for Trey Hendrickson to get in there and put his stamp on the game, and maybe DJ Reader to get in there a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I couldn't agree with you more. One thing I saw in this game, though, was Baltimore did not look like they were firing on all cylinders, man. Yes, they had Odell Beckham Jr., whose only contribution was 2 pass interference calls, in the red zone that got Justice Hill to, pound the ball in. But Zay Flowers, the rookie, man, wow, did he look fast? He looked fast. He looked on it. He had like 70 plus yards, 9 receptions. Shit, he looked great. But Lamar only threw for like $160 or something crazy like that. So I think that this new offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator are going to have to kind of marinate with Lamar and try to figure this out. The loss of their star lineman is not going to bode well against a super, super deep pass rush in this upcoming weekend matchup, but we will discuss that more on Saturday. The Houston Texans, though, I mean, CJ Stroud, dude, he had 2 really, really good drives. 2 really, really good drives. They just couldn't finish. So I'm excited for the future there. But they couldn't really establish a run game. Again, Baltimore's defense, we saw it in the wild card with Cincinnati. They just have a knack for slowing down, really just kind of putting a lid on the pressure cooker, right? And it's like you want all that steam to get out, but it just can't, So they do a very, very good job in that regard. So shout outs to them. A team that did not do a very good job in that regard is Cincinnati Bengals, who went up to Cleveland for the 100th Battle of Ohio and got absolutely just fucking steamrolled, bro. 24-3. Cleveland wins. Boogie, I'll go ahead and let you get your thoughts out here first, and then I will do my thing.
I appreciate that, but I don't have much to say that you're not also going to express. So I will leave most of it for you. Burrow, he's 1-5 against these Browns, and at this point, it doesn't seem like it's an anomaly or a coincidence. It seems like there is just something about the Cleveland Browns, especially early in the season, that just absolutely befuddles and bamboozles Joey Burrow.
Yeah, man.
It's
Well, let's start with the main guy on the other side of the ball, Myles Garrett, who for some reason is now paired up with Zadarius Smith, just creating way too much pressure, man. The first couple drives out of the Bengals, first of all, they started the game with 7 punts, which has never been done before, ever.
oh my god.
Joe Burrow threw for like 30-40% or some shit like that.
Hmm.
It couldn't link up with T. Higgins. Didn't throw anything over the middle except for to Tyler Boyd once. Mixon had some good runs here and there, but really they just got behind the stick. I mean, fuck, even the defense forced 2 turnovers, man, that gave us an opportunity to get that momentum and to go. When you have Chidobe Awuzie getting a fumble recovery, off of like an insanely good tackle from I think it was Mike Hilton, but I will do my research on that. And then Dax Hill got an interception. Like, good for Dax. Our safeties were looking good, man. But the thing is like Amari Cooper was just sitting on routes. Deshaun couldn't throw either. Joe Burrow had a glove on, had a glove off. Wet ball. Like, he looked like he was fucking throwing helium-filled balloons out there because he would throw and the motherfucker would just float off into the ether. I don't really know what was going on, man, but that I'm glad we get it out, and it happens every year, and we always sit here and we're surprised that it happens every year, because Joe Burrow again misses 5 weeks of football, and we're like, nah, it's Joe Burrow, he's gonna do great. I did the same thing last week, homies. I did the same thing, and here we are. And I'm sure a lot of fantasy owners are also kicking themselves like, oh, why did I start? Blah, blah, blah. Chase didn't do anything. Higgins didn't do anything. Look, he targeted Higgins 8 times. He just missed him. Joe Burrow threw some really amazing balls to the grass. Like, it was awesome.
Hmm.
Grass was wide open. And I think that has a lot to do with not. No, dead ass though. And I think that has a lot to do with, him not being in training camp. And there was just a lot of miscommunications, man. I mean, like, Chase was running goes when Joe was throwing back shoulders, like, is uncharacteristic things we see from these 2 teammates. And it just looked terrible, like absolutely fucking terrible. But the reason being is because of what I discussed specifically last week in Jim Schwartz and this new look defense. Jim Schwartz is a defensive coordinator that Burrow has not faced a lot. He, of course, he was the defensive organizer for Cleveland and the coordinator, wow, hey, thanks, Brain. What's up? I'm Garth for Philadelphia, pardon me. So there wasn't a lot of opportunity for, Joe Burrow to see him. We don't play the NFC East very often, okay?
No.
I just think Joe didn't know what he was looking at out there, to be honest. He had no idea what he was looking at. It's highly unfortunate, but that happens.
There was 2 times when T was doing an in cut and Joe was looking for him to like be running a go route. Like, there was just miscommunications across the board.
Yeah, 100%, man. But I mean, you got to give shout outs to the cornerbacks in the safety room of the Cleveland Browns, because they really did it. And of course, Myles Garrett dominating. Orlando Brown Jr. had a great game. Jonah got burned hard at the end, especially on that 4th and 4 where we had the opportunity to do something. People were open. But Myles Garrett, of course, wrecked the game, 4th and 4. And then Joe got benched, which everybody's talking about. But there was 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
It wasn't worth it to have him out there. And
no, why?
Just on a slick field.
Yes, exactly. That's just stupid, man. That's stupid. That's bad coaching. You conceded the game. You were down 21 points, and you're like, hey, there's 5 minutes left. You guys got this. Let's talk about
one bad thing. One good thing. One bad thing I forgot. Myles Garrett did a dribble move as part of his.
He did, and he crossed over Cordell Volson and made him look stupid, which I don't even know how that
with
happens.
No ball,
with no ball, man.
But our new acquisition, Orlando Brown Jr., who the Chiefs fans have just been dogging Bengals fans all season. You took our trash tackle away. Orlando Brown looked great. No sacks, 1 pressure.
Exactly. No, Orlando Brown looked incredible, man. Um,
Yeah.
but but again, Jonah got burned. He gets burned against premier pass rush. Look, this is the same things that we've been saying. On a dry field, would we have done better? Potentially. Okay, but that means Deshaun would have done better because we didn't even talk about the Cleveland offense where Nick Chubb ran for over 100 yards. Absolutely
Oh,
shredded us.
he
Elijah
might be
Moore.
the best running back in the NFL again this year. And it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
when is he?
100%.
Just
And
like with Derrick Henry, when is he going to stop?
yeah, well, he's still kind of young. I think he's like 28, right? So he still should be
Yeah.
good for a while. But my point being is Deshaun missed throws. People were wide open. Amari Cooper was wide open. Fucking Elijah Moore was wide open. Donovan Peoples-Jones was wide open. And Deshaun just missed. So really,
Yeah.
I think if Deshaun keeps elevating, the Browns are going to be fucking scary, man. And I am not excited for that because if we play them in a wild card in Cleveland, forget about it, dude.
Oh God.
Forget about it. Like I don't
There's
know.
the thought, dude.
I don't know. I don't know what you do in that situation. But big shout outs to Cleveland. They really came prepared. Joe Burrow just looked like shit. And I don't really expect this moving forward. I just want to get this shit
Conventional wisdom is that
off my palate, man. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
it's very rare for division opponents to go, 2-0 or 0-2 against each other. It's usually a series split.
1-1.
We'll just recollect ourselves and come up with a better game plan for Myles Garrett and and try to exploit Deshaun Watson's mistakes if he's still making them in October or November or whenever we play the Browns again, and just attack it next time.
100%. And here's what a lot of people don't understand about the Bengals. I'm just going to say this for all you out there who are watching and wondering, like, wow, why are the Bengals so good later? Everybody knows the Bengals are not creative. Okay, we're running at it. Everything at a shotgun. That's new. It's different, but it's not necessarily creative. What makes the Bengals unique and special, and with the brain that Joe Burrow has, is that through the course of the year, once he sees something, then the Bengals are very good at getting into the right formations to counter whatever they're seeing. Okay, and then Joe Burrow, just being smart, makes the right reads. That's really all it is. It's not anything like Mahomes rolling out of the pocket, running across the field, sidearm 30-yard bomb. No, it's just like it's the brain mesh of Burrow and Taylor. So these first couple weeks may be really, really rough for you Bengals fans. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the bandwagon. But for those that have been lifers, just understand that this is how this works. All right.
This is how it's worked for the past 3 years.
Yeah, and we still see success. So there's nothing to panic about, man. We're gonna lose games, and that's okay. It's okay.
This was basically we're hoping this was basically just like a half training camp, half preseason game, kind of moment.
That's how it felt.
Back on the wagon.
And Joe looked better in the second half, and even in the fourth quarter, it's just kind of like, all right, we're done here, But throwing to Jamar Chase for 3-4 yards at a time is not going to win us a game.
No.
Yeah. Anywho, you want to talk about a new up and coming star? Yo, let's talk about Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who went ahead and went into Indianapolis and again ruined a first-year quarterback's opportunity to get a dub, who played surprisingly well, and Trent Richardson. Nope. What's his name? Anthony Richardson. Trent Richardson. That's fucking funny, dude.
No.
That's a Freudian slip if I've ever heard one, because we were just talking about the Browns. Anywho, Jacksonville winning that game, of course, 31-21. Tyler, thoughts, feelings, concerns?
I'm just very impressed with Calvin Ridley.
100%.
Took the year off to polish up his gambling game, but he's come back and he looks like he hasn't missed a step. He's going to be a game changer for these Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to be the missing piece that they need to start taking this offense to a whole new level and continue Trevor Lawrence's rising star in this league. 8 catches, 101 yards, just making people look silly out there. And as far as Anthony Richardson go, probably the best looking, or the most the guy who looks like he has the highest ceiling out of all of them, because he was showing flashes of just brilliant decisive, athletic play, but he's up and down, and it's just gonna be. It's probably gonna be for the Colts this year. It's gonna be probably I don't know, like a 5-5 in the
12.
12 season for them, and just it's gonna look uneven. But the best thing they can do right now is allow Shane Steichen and Anthony Richardson to grow together and learn to trust each other and take their lumps, and just like get this guy as many reps as possible, because there's going to come a point where his athletic talent and his understanding of the game is going to mesh, and he's going to look pretty scary. He's going to be another like Lamar Jackson type.
Yeah, man. He did look insane, and we were talking about how he looked like shit in the preseason. This dude looked wild out there, running it in, getting a rushing touchdown, throwing it through the air. Of course, like motherfucking Michael Pittman Jr. Really making use of his good targets. Mo Alley Cox tried to get a couple of tight end targets, didn't work out. 0 receptions on those 2 targets, but all things considered, Jacksonville looks fucking insane and nasty. Travis Etienne looking really, 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 really good. Coming in and really making it known that he is going to be a star in this league. Lot of questions coming off that tear or that foot injury during his rookie year, but man, the synergy between him and Lawrence is unreal. And you're right, Calvin Ridley just went the fuck off. What are we even talking about? What were we even talking about? That shit was crazy, and that's going to be something to watch, man. Like, they got to stop that. Defensive coordinators, that is going to be a nightmare for them. It'll be really, really interesting. I mean, obviously, I think Jacksonville wins the AFC South. That should go without saying. There's really,
that's so easy.
Yeah,
so easy.
Yeah. There's really.
If they don't, I mean, you got to throw the whole team out if they can't win in this AFC.
Yeah,
South.
No doubt. You have 2 rookie quarterbacks and the Titans. So what do we?
And the Titans, I mean, as long as they continue to play Tannehill, and they have, I think, there was a stat I saw where like
he looked bad.
Where like all of their wide receivers have like less catches than Tannehill does in the NFL. It's something crazy like that. Like it's so rough. But we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. But yeah, it's
no doubt.
Easy AFC South.
Absolutely. You want to talk about another South that's really starting to rise again, brother?
Oh God.
No, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who visited the Minnesota Vikings, coming out with a big dub, man. Surprising dub in that NFC South. Of course, Tampa Bay winning 20-17. Baker Mayfield making his debut and just throwing laser beams out there. Boogie, what did you see from this game?
Last year the Vikings were one of the worst like good teams in the league. Out here at one point in the season, they had a negative 2-point differential, despite the fact that they were like, their winning percentage was like 700 or something like that. They were extremely lucky last year, going 9-0 in 1-score games, but it looks like they're going to have some regression to the mean this year because, they haven't replicated it so far. They're 0-1. Looks like their luck has run out. And I mean, Baker Mayfield, I thought he was only going to be able to manage garbage time. I thought he was just going to kind of manage the game and kind of make it look close. But, not be able to pull it off. But it looks like Baker Mayfield's about to have like his 3rd or 4th career renaissance, about to have himself a really rollicking good time down in Tampa Bay. As analysts at The Athletic, which I read pretty regularly, say, it's not so surprising because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a pretty solid roster top to bottom. They just needed somebody in the driver's seat. Obviously, Tom Brady was able to, take them and push their ceiling higher than ever before. But as long as they have somebody reasonably competent in the driver's seat, they can make a run at the NFC South, especially with gosh, I wish I could remember what the NFC South was off the top of my head, but I don't think there's too many contenders. It might be
you got Saints, South Panthers, Bucks, and who's the other one?
Falcons.
Falcons. Yeah.
they can push the Falcons for season control of the NFC South, especially if Baker continues to throw lasers and take over games in the fourth quarter like this.
Yeah,
How about you,
man.
G?
Dude, holy shit. First thing I saw was Kirk Cousins lacing it all over the field. Jordan Addison looks nutty, boy. That's going to be a powerful 1-2 punch. Of course, Jefferson got his, a $150. Addison also had a crazy 35, 40-yard touchdown just off a dime by Kirk Cousins. But again, something we didn't see was a lot of rushing production out of Madison. So that was something we were kind of looking at to see hey, is this kid actually going to be able to do it? Because Dalvin Cook's not doing it anymore. What's going on here? I will say
that was less of a talent evaluation than it was a money evaluation.
Yeah, 100%, man. You want to talk about a talent evaluation though? Let's talk about Chris Godwin picking up these essential first downs that they needed. He didn't really get a lot of targets. I think he only had 5 receptions. So go ahead and fact check me in the comments down below. But he caught it when they needed to. Okay, big third down conversions. Mike Evans had himself a day. Their running back White did not really play particularly well as I would have thought. However, Tampa Bay just looked like the better team in the second half. I mean, Kirk Cousins had fucking 344 yards in the air and they still lost. How does that happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happens. Just good defense, man, holding them to field goal opportunities. And Baker just, I don't know, he just looked good when it mattered, right? The beginning of the game, not so much, but as he kind of got a little more comfortable and settled in, he looked really good, man. So I'll tell you a couple teams that did not look good. Tennessee at New Orleans. New Orleans was favored -3, coming out with the dub 16-15.
That's so nasty.
It is.
This was the teams who were good 5 years ago bowl for sure. God, it's just
100%, man. 100%.
So awful to watch. I didn't even watch it, so actually I don't know if it was awful to watch or not. But
no, I watched the last 5-6 minutes, man, just because I kept seeing in the ticker Tannehill 2 interceptions, fucking 100-something yards, Chris Olave won this game for the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr really put it on him. Michael Thomas had some really big plays when it mattered. Of course, no Kamara. The defense showed up.
Oh no, there was Kamara's cousin. His name was Derrick Henry, taking screen passes for 40 yards. I mean, is this Derrick Henry's career renaissance? Is he a receiving back now? Is he a satellite back, third down guy?
I mean, I guess he's gonna have to be, especially if you have DeAndre Hopkins and you're throwing 2 picks to a Saints defense that
aging.
I don't really think I can't really think of any superstars off the top of my head young and productive in the secondary. Just really fucking weird, man. I mean, I'll tell you who else was clutch was Jamal Williams, who had a couple of really good runs on 3rd and short, 2nd and short. Really helped move the chains for these Saints, but Chris Olave stole the day, man. He was just all over the place. They couldn't guard him. That's going to be an exciting matchup to watch for, much like we thought Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers would be, but more on that later. Yeah, just an all-around boring-ass game, all field goals.
Yeah,
pretty sure
combined to convert 8 field goals, which is the most in week 1 in NFL history.
Yeah, it's just this shit is boring. Who's trying to watch that? I mean, I guess it was better than watching the Bengals get fucking absolutely shit on by the Cleveland Elves. But, man, I mean, dude, you want to talk about a team that got shit on, the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers, who...
Hold on. Before we go, I'm so sorry. I know you were just about to get there, but
yeah, what's up?
I just looked something up because I had just a brain blast. You know how Jamal Williams really loves anime and manga and shit? He took on the number 21 this year. There's a famous football manga from Japan called Eye Shield 21, all about a skinny guy who was bullied and had to outrun his bullies, and then he gets recruited to his high school's American football team.
His Japanese high school's American football team. Go ahead.
That's right. And I mean, he took on the persona of Eye Shield 21, which 21 was his number, and Jamal Williams has got the number 21 now. And I want a reporter to get out there and ask Jamal Williams, "Hey, what inspired you to take this number this year?" And I want to hear him say, "It's because I love Eye Shield 21, and I wanted to be just like the main character from that." Sorry. I just had a brain blast, and I was like, "Wait, he's really coming out with like how much he loves anime this year. I wonder if this is true." And
Maybe.
we'll see.
Could
Maybe.
be. I mean, that'd be cool. Yo, here's some food for thought there, New Orleans reporters. Yikes. Boy. Boy, oh boy. Okay, you want to talk about some yikes, man. We had the San Francisco 49ers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. San Francisco winning 30-7. Pittsburgh looked like they didn't know what the fuck was going on. And San Francisco looks like they're the team to beat. Boogie?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Bosa coming out here. I call him Mr. Bosa because he's a very rich man now. I feel like I can't come at him by calling him by his first name anymore. Mr. Bosa coming out here and wrecking shit, making it real hard on Kenny Pickett, who, after all these offseason puff pieces, looks like he's just about the same guy he was last year. And that may just be how, like you said to me before the show, that might just be how commanding San Francisco was on the defensive end. That really squashed any chances that they had. But I mean, if his receivers are on the on the sideline saying things, like, I really love the game of football, but man, this is tough. That's a problem, and it's a problem that could continue to fester as the weeks go on. We really need to see Kenny Pickett after 4 weeks start making big strides and start really showing what he worked on this offseason, or else things could get really hairy up in Pittsburgh after they lost by the greatest margin of defeat in Mike Tomlin's tenure there.
Oh wow, really? Did not know that. I don't know, man. Look, San Francisco just looked dominant from kickoff to a walk-off, right? Like, holy shit. Christian McCaffrey running for 65 yards. You had, and he was just doing whatever he wanted out there. Brock Purdy said, shoulder who? Like, who cares? He came out there and was fucking slinging it all over the place. George Kittle had about like 4. Brandon Ayuk had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Debo had 4 receptions as well. Really just doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. And that's exactly, what we're seeing out of the San Francisco 49er team, man. I mean, god damn. The NFC is looking just wildly top heavy. Especially talking about a couple of these games later. It just, pardon me. Man, it was bad for San Francisco. Kenny Pickett just looked inaccurate. Something uncharacteristic of what we saw at the back half of last year. Mike Tomlin had no answers. TJ Watt had no answers. I don't know. They got the ball out fast. They went quick. Shanahan just really punched Tomlin in the mouth. And I mean, that's really all I've got to say about this game. It was just cut dry, easy as pumpkin pie. I mean, obviously we picked the wrong team here.
Oh yeah, let me go ahead.
Oh boy,
watch this red all over here.
Go ahead and make it red, man.
Speaking of making it red, got 2 red teams coming up next, don't we?
Yeah, we do, man. The Arizona Cardinals, who really turned it up on defense, going against the Washington Commanders. Commanders come out with the dub, but not by much. 20-16, winning only by 4. I did not cover. Tyler, you were smart to pick the cover here. That was a good play. No one really expected the Cardinals to do much here, but you did, man.
Well,
so good for you.
You know why I picked the Cardinals? Do you know why I picked them?
No.
Because they got that fire in their belly, man.
Do you?
Do they? Do they?
Do you?
I mean,
who rode the bus? Oh, that shit.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals rode their defense's bus all the way to, unfortunately, defeat. But defense out here looking froggy. Coach Gannon's putting a fire in their bellies. Somehow they're out here with 6 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, an interception, and 7 passes defensed. I don't know whether that speaks more to the efficacy of the defense or to Sam Howell's gunslinger tendencies. On the other side, Washington's looking to create an identity for themselves after they're probably losing their name in a trademark dispute. Looks like their identity is going to be disruption in the trenches, as their 8 first-round picks on the defensive line are finally starting to work together and show out and get some sack numbers on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna, Sam Howell, he's in the vein of Taylor Heineke and other quarterbacks that the Commanders have valued over these last couple of years. Guys who are probably fringe quarterbacks, probably, on average, they're about 15 to 20 as far as best quarterbacks in the league, but they are gamers and they're gunslingers. They are not afraid to mess with their touchdown to interception ratio if they think they can, get the ball down to their receivers.
Yeah, 100%, man. Brian Robinson had a good day, man. He had the first score of the year for them, for the Commanders. He's looking good as a nice satellite back. And, Sam Howell came down and scored right at the fourth quarter, near the end of the game. He had a 6-yard, little scamper score. Little shrimp scampi. But, really the only touchdown of the day from the Cardinals, of course, came from the defense. Of course, that fumble recovery where they went ahead and put it in the end zone, and they were even up, I think, at one point. If I'm not mistaken, 16-13. But what really confuses me is Josh Dobbs' play. I didn't really know where he was throwing the ball all day. Things just looked weird, man. The Arizona's defense looked absolutely incredible.
That was really weird to me.
What's up, brother?
So the Steelers have had so many players pass through their organization that have alopecia. Do they have a type?
What? That's
guys who can't grow hair. Josh Dobbs, Ryan Shazier. There's probably Stephon Tuitt, I think, has that as well. Do they have a type? Are people with alopecia better football players?
Possibly. Because their brain's on fire. That hair just can't grow, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you whose fucking brain was on fire was Chicago Bears fans after the Green Bay Packers came in and beat the dog shit out of them once again under a new regime. Green Bay winning 38-20. Tyler, what are your thoughts, feelings, concerns about what you saw from a NFC North slugfest, classic rivalry? Packers, Bears.
What I'm concerned about is Vegas, because I don't know where they get off handicapping the Chicago Bears to win this game. Because, have the Chicago Bears shown us anything different than they have for the past 2 years?
No.
It is the same old problems for the Bears. Justin Fields flies on the ground, but is a pedestrian through the air. And if he wants to make that money, if he wants to be seen and respected as a quarterback in this league, if the Chicago Bears want to go anywhere with this roster, they're continually just throwing good money after bad to retain.
100%.
He needs to reverse those.
Yeah, losing David Montgomery definitely did not look good for Chicago. Jordan Love was lacing it all over the field. Aaron Jones had a couple of touchdowns, and Christian Watson wasn't even playing, dude. So you're talking about somebody that he probably has good chemistry with. The Bears just looked like they didn't know what was going on half the time. Justin Fields looked bad. It was just all in all a drubbing by the Green Bay Packers, once again coming into Soldier Field saying, "I own you," and that's really what I saw from this game. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Before Aaron Rodgers left Green Bay, he took Jordan Love into a small, dimly lit room and is like, So, today's finally today. You're going to be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And I think it's time for me to pass down to you the deed to the Chicago Bears franchise. You own this franchise now, Jordan. And it over, and Jordan signed his name.
Absolutely. Got notarized right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you know Aaron Rodgers is a notary in all 50 states?
Yeah, why wouldn't he be? Boy, what a weird dude. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Jesus Christ, the Bears. I'm worried about them, bro. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Contending.
I mean, they literally let Aaron Jones get all 86 of his receiving yards off a yak. They just let him run all over them.
Yeah, man. It was embarrassing.
I don't know where the pride is. I don't know.
First week tackling in general has been just fucking paltry,
mm-hmm.
bro. Pretty close to poultry, which is what Denver was eating. They were eating their goose as soon as they got, a late second drive by Jimmy G and the Las Vegas Raiders coming into town, putting the boot on them. Winning 17-16. I really thought Denver was going to end up winning. I knew it was going to be close. AFC West, 2 mediocre teams. But man, Russ looked okay.
Yeah, he looks functional.
Just really okay. Yeah, he didn't really look like a game changer, in my opinion. Jimmy
He might
G
just be
looked
past
good.
that point.
Yeah. I mean, probably, but Sean Payton loves really tiny quarterbacks, so I don't know who is going to go get next. But I don't know, man. Denver has a lot left wanting. Josh Jacobs didn't really do anything. If we're talking about Vegas, Max Crosby, the defense was really being a disruptor all day, as you would expect. Vegas looks like it was missing the presence of Darren Waller. Jimmy G didn't really know where to go besides Devontae Adams, who single-handedly carried this team, it felt like. And I think that when you're really looking at this Denver squad, you're missing Jerry Jeudy, man. Samaje Perine ran okay. Williams ran okay. Javonte, he ran okay. But again, 16-17, what more is there to say? It was a super slow game. Just slow. Not a lot happening. Vegas, of course, coming down at the end of the game and winning when they were up. They got the dub, man, and they deserve it. So good for Vegas.
This was nearly the perfect game, 17-14.
I know, dude. If Eli Manning were coaching, oh my God. That is the 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Perfect game.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's all you need. You don't want to show off. You don't want to be a showboat. You just need to get just enough points to scrape by. And 17 is just a nice round, even number.
Yeah, right. Especially when football's concerned. You want to talk about a team that just scraped by. We're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins, who went ahead and visited the Los Angeles Chargers. Boy, what a shootout. 70 points of just action-packed fun, dude. The Dolphins 36, Chargers 34. So we missed the spread on this one, Boogie.
No, we're good, right? Miami. I'm sorry.
No.
Run that score by me again.
36-34. They won by 2.
We Gucci, right? Hold on. Who won? I'm so dumb.
Miami. We didn't get the spread, bro. We didn't get the spread.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
yeah, we did.
Yeah, they did. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Princess Carolyn, get in here. A panic at the disco? All right, but anyway.
No, we did the perfect thing. We bet on the road dog at home when it was -3 or -2, and I mean, brilliant work. Well done, Bray Trust.
Well done. Goodness gracious, dude. So Tyreek Hill looks like no one can cover him at all. Holy shit. Mostert didn't really do too much. Tua's looking like an MVP candidate. I mean, god damn. I mean, Justin Herbert was playing well. Mike Williams went off with an injury early, which kind of slowed this team down, but Johnston out of TCU really stepped up in his place and made some big time catches, man. Obviously, Austin Eckler just being the satellite back, just the ultimate guy down there. I mean, what did you see from this game that really stood out to you, Bud?
So the Vegas odds for all of the year-long awards, the person who has the best odds to win a year-long award is, of course, Damar Hamlin at -190 for the comeback player of the year. But due to his performance this week, Tyreek Hill has the second best odds at winning his year-long award, which is, of course, offensive player of the year at +380. There's not much value to be had there, but with the way he looked today and with the way Tua looked today without Teron Armstead and with that, with all of the issues he's had over the past year, looking
Mm-hmm.
sharp, having the best QB performance of this week, and the way Mike Daniels
Mm-hmm.
loves Tyreek Hill, loves scheming him open. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it might be worth putting, $50 on that, making a little bit of scratch.
Yeah, dude.
Because
I mean, it seems like so I watched this afternoon game and it seemed like every time Tua threw the ball, fucking Tyreek Hill was open 30 yards down the field like at a time. It was fucking nuts, man. Like,
he doesn't even have to
what?
make moves. He just runs past people. He is like the modern day Randy Moss. He doesn't have to get fancy with it. He's just running in a straight line, but he's just so much faster than anyone else out there.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. Absolutely insane. So shout outs to Miami, man. I hope they really, really do well. Another team we really, really expect to do well is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, who went in and visited the New England Patriots, honoring Tom Brady in their Ring of Honor. Of course, having his illustrious career there, winning 9 chips with the Pats. Eagles only won by 5, so we still covered. But the final was 25-20 Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie, you see anything out of this game that really stood out?
Unfortunately, I didn't really get to catch this game. But looking at the stat line, Mac Jones is in that Andy Dalton category. Andy Dalton, of course, very near and dear to our hearts. Love that guy. Love all he did for the city of Cincinnati. He's
100%.
He's not a great quarterback. He's literally like the Mendoza line for football quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad, but he's not good.
Yeah, if you're better than Andy Dalton, you can function in the league. If you're worse than Andy Dalton, you should not be in the league.
Correct.
And there's one playoff game that you and I watched back when we were, just starting to, watch playoff games together, start being able to scrape together enough money to do that. Because boy, we used to be poor, and now we're
Yeah.
less poor.
Less poor.
But in the 2013 wild card game against the Chargers, Andy Dalton threw the ball 50 times.
He did.
Um,
That shit was crazy.
he should not have thrown the ball 50 times.
Nope, but we had AJ
And
Green, so how could you not?
you got to try, I guess, especially when you're losing. And again, the perfect football game. I think it ended up being like 17-10.
Yeah, it was like 17-10.
Goddamn, in the fucking playoffs. That's nasty work. But anyway, Mac Jones threw it 54 times this game. Mac Jones is Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton shouldn't throw it 50 times. Mac Jones should not be throwing it 50 times. They need Bill O'Brien, good old B.O.B., needs to get a different game plan going because Mac's arm probably still hurts and probably will still hurt until next Sunday.
Yeah, I
From
mean,
throwing the ball that many times.
yeah, he was throwing to Zeke, which I thought was wildly inappropriate. I mean, it's just like he was throwing it to whoever had hands out there. He was like, "You got hands here?" Fucking
Here you go.
threading it in there. I mean, shout outs to Mac. I mean, he threw it, but shout outs to Philadelphia, who went up early, man. First quarter, they were up 16-0, and you really thought they were just going to run away with it. And then first year offensive coordinator, first year defensive coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles, they kind of looked lost out there in the second half. I don't know if that's more adjustments on Bill Belichick's side, but it definitely looked fucking weird from the audience's point of view, because you're talking about a Jalen Hurts that should be just running the show, right? MVP candidate last year. What happened? What happened? I mean, I don't know, and I don't expect the audience to know either, but hopefully, this Thursday, we really see more of that high flying powerful Philadelphia offense. Now, the defense didn't play so bad either, besides in the second half. I mean, Darius Slayton had a 70-yard pick six, so that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
he had himself a little slaycation, but outside of that, man, this game just looked abysmal, right? You know, much like the Seattle Seahawks, who were hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle was favored by 4.5, but ended up losing big time, 30-13. The Rams really, you know, Matthew Stafford just looking like that. I don't know, like young Detroit Matt Stafford out here, just fucking throwing dimes all over the place. Boogie, what did you see from this game?
There's two phrases on everybody's mind when it comes to this game. They're, oh my God, and Puka Nakua. Oh my God, because Geno Smith yelled, oh my God, as he was watching Aaron Donald come barreling towards us. And
yeah, unblocked. That shit was funny.
Oh my God, that move makes him the most relatable person in America. Because who would not say, "Oh my God," if Aaron Donald was coming bearing down on him, all fucking? It's just a little short shit 290 just running at you, ready to take your fucking head off.
Seeing ghosts out here, man.
Yeah, real Sam Darnold moment for him. And then Puka out here, like getting 110 yards,
119,
really taking over 119. Nearly 120. Good number. Good number for a first-year, fifth-round. I think he's a fifth-round pick.
Him and Tutu Atwell both had 119 yards, which is just weird. It's an unusual.
Tutu Atwell, Mr. the lightest man in the NFL at like 150 pounds. Like, it goes to show how good of a quarterback Stafford is, and I guess what good of an eye that Sean McVay has. Shout out Sean McVay, Miami of Ohio wide receiver. What good of an eye he had for wide receivers, because he's picking these guys out of the garbage bin, and Matthew Stafford's able to work his magic with them. Just it's wild to me. Matthew Stafford has had so many back injuries, and he's been an NFL Iron Man before, and he was looking pretty worn out last year. He was looking like there was nothing left in the tank for him. That the Rams didn't overpay for him because they got a Super Bowl, but it looked like they were going to be, he was going to be the albatross around their neck. But out here in the first game, showing why he can still lace it in this league.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, Matt Stafford looked great, right? We talked about what he did, but what we're not talking about is what Geno did not do. I mean, of course, no help from the run game. Kenneth Walker III, he had 64 yards on 12 carries. It's not highly efficient.
Garth, I picked over 66.5 for him, for Kenneth Walker III, and he got 64. I hate it here. Sorry, go ahead.
He did, which is uncharacteristic because he had like 100 yards a game last year.
Yeah.
So you were thinking, wow, 66, that's easy. But Los Angeles just really put it to him, dude. Like, holy shit, their defense balled out. Matt Stafford balled out. And they really looked nasty in an NFC West that, is probably going to be run by the 49ers. It's interesting to see that the Rams are actually being competitive, maybe. And I say that with a very, very bold and italicized question mark, because again, it is week 1. So let's overreact to everything, right? I don't know, dude. The Rams look like they had something going there. So good for them. Kyron Williams. Yeah, you would talk about the Dallas Cowboys who fucking put a 40 burger on the New York Giants on September 11th in New York. No, it was September 10th. Okay, thank God. The other New York team played on September 11th. But we'll talk about both of them here momentarily. Dallas looked crazy. When you go up 16-0 at the very beginning of the game, you're probably not going to lose, right? Really throws out your entire game plan. Mm-hmm. The Giants looked just fucking awful, dude.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. It was the field goal that got blocked in return for a touchdown, and then there was the pick six, and then
Oh, there was a pick six.
Yeah. So it was, I mean, and right there, that's what, 16 zip. And so, you're the Giants. You're like, oh, I'm Danny Dimes. I'm going to sit back in the pocket and get absolutely demolished by one of the best defenses in the league. Like, what the fuck were we even talking about? I mean, Tony Pollard didn't even look remarkably good, but I mean, he ran well. He had a couple tutties. Dak looked okay. But again, when you're up that much, like, there's not too much you can do here, man. I mean, the Giants, they needed an ass kicking, I guess, to like wake the fuck up. But you're talking about a guy who makes the Giants not the highest turnover team in the league. What is it, Brian Daboll? And a guy that makes Daniel Jones not have the most turnovers in the league. Like he really made him
2022 of the year coming in. Reigning coach of the year, and he's just they look completely flat-footed.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the theme
Daniel
of this weekend was raining. My God, dude, raining. REIGN. The Dallas was, because they were fucking dominating both sides of the ball. It was fucking embarrassing watching this game. I think I turned it off halfway through because it was like 20-0, and I was like, why am I watching this? This is fucking boring.
Yeah, I think it was 9:15 when I turned to my wife and was like, hey, baby, you want to go to bed? Per Warren Sharp, Daniel Jones was pressured on 43% of his dropbacks. Dallas got to him, got back in his face in an average of 2.4 seconds. And the gold standard for a quick release in the NFL is 2.5 seconds. They're getting to him a tenth of a second faster than Tom Brady is able to release the ball. And again, per Warren Sharp,
didn't have a chance, man.
No, the Giants are facing the number one toughest pass rushing schedule for the rest of the year. They got a bunch of speed at the receiver position this past offseason. They've got Saquon Barkley, who's maybe the greatest combination of speed and elusiveness at the running back position in the league. But I mean, the most pressing need for speed is on that offensive line, just getting up and getting some hands up.
Jesus.
And giving your quarterback enough time to be able to throw the ball to the fast guys.
Yeah, they got dominated.
The Giants' plans completely fell apart when they weren't able to, be to overwhelm their secondary with any speed. They just had no answer for the Dallas Cowboys and their speed.
100%.
Boy, howdy, Micah Parsons out there looking like a silver and blue streak. My goodness.
Yeah, dude, easily defensive player of the year, and I hope that he ends up breaking the sack record. We'll see. That'd be really, really cool if he ends up doing that. Do you want to talk about someone whose plans were ruined? Let's talk about the New York Jets, who 4 plays into their offensive series against hosting the Buffalo Bills on September 11th, one of the towers, Aaron Rodgers' Achilles, went down. It was bad. It was bad, man. A pillar on that team. God, well, his season's over, as we know. Torn Achilles, he will not be back. Just holy shit.
He will be meditating for a very long time, hoping to, use the power of positive thinking and putting vibes out in the universe in order to mend his Achilles heel. And God, we wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah, 100%. But he definitely ain't playing this year. And who is going to be playing? Zach Wilson, it looks like. I mean, he played all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, Garrett Wilson looked like, dude, he had this fucking crazy catch where he was falling down in the end zone, one-handed, batted it up to himself, did some, like, baby bear pot of honey shit, and, like, did some of this and caught the ball. And I was like, whoa, what? Like, dude, he looked great. You know who didn't look great, though? Josh Allen, who had, like, 4 turnovers or something insane. The Bills had 4 turnovers in general. Like, I feel like every time I looked up, fortunately, I had to work. But every time I looked up at the TV, I just saw the Jets celebrating another interception, and yes, Stephon Diggs came up clutch at the end and allowed them to get that game-winning field goal to tie it up. But of course, the Jets a walk-off punt return. Like, when does that happen? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this Buffalo team. They did not look good. Bengals did not look good. Chiefs did not look good. Obviously, things that moving forward, aren't going to be the case. But just very weird for week one, just to wrap up a really, really weird week one.
I mean, as you were saying, Garth, like the Bills Super Bowl window. I mean, just if we're out here overreacting, the Bills Super Bowl window might really be closed because if Josh Allen is going to play like first year Josh Allen, and he's gonna just like he's going to
Force
look
the
like the
ball to
best
Stephon
quarterback
Diggs. Yeah.
and the worst quarterback in the league all at once. Um, if they don't have the personnel to match up against a team that just lost their quarterback and is playing Zach Wilson at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't manage to get a couple turnovers off that and keep control of this game, and maybe it's the perfect NFL game, maybe it's a 17-10 effort, but if you can't manage that against somebody who should have immediately gone down like 10 ranks in the power rankings as soon as Aaron Rodgers tower topple. I mean, I don't know how you expect to get through an AFC where it feels like there's about 10 teams who are really dangerous right now.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I feel bad for the Jets. Let's not forget Zach Wilson was a first round pick. Okay. He was top 3 overall selected.
Okay.
Yes, he played bad last year.
Yes, he played bad the year before. Yes, he
No,
played
no, no,
one.
no, no. He played decent his first year, but he regressed last year. And this year, the pressure's off because Aaron Rodgers is in town and he can just kind of do his thing. But now the pressure's right back on.
Right back on.
So we'll see, man. We'll
Is he going to
see.
continue a tradition of New York Jets quarterbacks seeing ghosts out here after a couple weeks? Or what I want to know, Garth?
Yo,
I mean, we gotta get our opinion out here. We got to get in on the speculation. I mean, Colin Kaepernick's calling up the Jets, letting them know he's ready to play at 36 years old.
stop it. He hasn't played in stop. See,
Tom Brady, there's already the Photoshop magnates are already putting Tom Brady into number 12 jerseys, even though number 12 is retired for Joe
Joe
Namath.
Namath, yeah.
I mean, who do you think the Jets should go out here and grab? Who's your candidate for quarterback?
I think the Jets should just stick with Zach Wilson, man, and ride it. Their defense is playing really, really well. Brees Hall had a 70-yard run. Like, look, dude, I think the Jets are going to be all right. If Brees Hall plays, Zach Wilson might have a lot of pressure taken off of him. That was one thing they did not have last year was a good run game. As soon as Brees Hall went down, it was like, oh, shit, now I've got to kind of take control of the offense here. I think we'll see a different Zach Wilson this year. I'm sure he learned a lot from Aaron Rodgers. And at least like how to view the game, right? I don't know, man. I think there's a lot to be said for Zach Wilson starting, and I think that's what the Jets are going to roll with. As of now, I don't know anybody on the market that's going to be good for this situation. Especially, what money do they have? They literally just paid this dude out of the nose to be their quarterback for 4 plays. So I don't know, man.
Let's see how their salary cap is doing. Estimated cap space $10,000.
Okay, well, yeah, they're not doing anything. They're sticking with Zach Wilson, unfortunately, for the foreseeable future.
I was gonna say maybe they should. Here's I'm gonna say it with no shame.
Okay, say it.
I was considering Andy Dalton. I was considering Cameron Newton. But probably the one, if I'm the New York Jets and I say, I cannot trust Zach Wilson for another year, I'm going to lose my fucking job if I do. If he does anything less than like stellar work, which Zach Wilson has shown, he's shown what his floor can be, and we don't know what his ceiling can be. He hasn't really really strung together any consistency in that regard. But we've seen a guy whose floor is mediocre to bad, but whose ceiling is MVP level.
Mm-hmm.
And his name's Matthew Ryan, former quarterback of the Falcons.
On a
Had
$10,000 deal, get out of here.
I mean, would Fox or whoever's employing him as a broadcaster go ahead and honor his contract for this year? He can take the vet minimum. Maybe you cut a couple. You cut your like fifth kick returner or your backup punter and make a little room. Give him a year, $2 million.
Dude.
Say you
way.
Can run it back one more time from Matt Ryan.
Nah, fuck
Let
no.
him get those. Let me get that Super Bowl monkey off his back.
Dude, he got he got benched twice in Indianapolis. This guy's not playing in the league ever again. Matty Ice, yeah, because that's what he's sleeping on.
Matty's on ice.
Yeah, he's on ice, bro. Like, my God, what are we even talking about? Go ahead and make those all green, bro. We won. It was 22-16.
Unbelievable. Speaks more to the Jets defense and how advanced they are and how really well constructed that roster is. How ready it was for a Super Bowl, and now it's all in doubt.
Well, I mean, let's keep it real, dude. It's that offensive line that got him hurt in the first place, and that offensive line is fucking garbage. But I don't think they were going to any Super Bowl. You're just saying Aaron Rodgers, get the fuck out of here. Let's take a look at these props. Let's make our predictions for Thursday night. Your boy has some chores being an adult, so my apologies. We are an hour and 7 minutes in, and we got to get rolling here.
Oh my God.
So
yeah, I mean, yes, Burrow looked like crap, and
Burrow looked like shit. Miami at LAC, wow, dude, over 51. You could have put over 60, dude. That would have been crazy. Really juiced it, and you would have done a lot better.
All thanks to Tua Tagovailoa and his, again, the best QB performance of the week at 433 yards, like a million touchdowns. Pretty good,
bro. All right, so Thursday night we've got Minnesota at Philadelphia. Philadelphia favored -6. I'm not taking it. I'm taking Philadelphia to win. I'm taking Minnesota to cover.
I think that's a fantastic idea, despite the fact that Philadelphia is rocking with two rookie coordinators. I still think the talent gap is there. I think Philadelphia's offense is great. I think their defense is middling to great. Minnesota's offense, great. Minnesota's defense, I'm not convinced.
Me neither.
And at a -6, Philadelphia would have to win by a touchdown, and
that's a lot on a short week, man. You're talking about two teams that played us exceptionally hard this weekend, in damn near one-score games, and you're telling me they're going to come in here and put up a burner. We saw this last year with every Thursday night game. It's not going to happen. It's going to be like 20-17 probably again, or some shit like that. So that's really what I'm looking forward to.
You're right. They're both going to come in absolutely gassed. Can you imagine getting beat up on by New England and then turning around and dropping 30 on anybody, much less the Minnesota Vikings, who are, not ascendant, but they're a pretty good team.
They're a good team. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be the perfect game. 17-10, 20-17, something of that nature. You're absolutely right.
100%, man. Shit, dude, that was a lot of football, man. Your boys, boo, 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 boo. Your boy's brain is a little tired. My apologies. Of course, we'll get better and better as the season moves on. But as you can see, a lot of green, a lot of red on teams that really surprised us here. But I don't know. We nailed a pretty good margin. We'll go ahead and talk Saturday about what our score is moving into week 2. Boogie, is there anything you'd like to say before we head out here?
No, because I smell some soup cooking, so that's all I'm thinking about. Got a chicken and rice with some carrots, some onions. It's gonna be a good soup, man.
Oh, good soup.
Good soup. Oh,
Yeah, dude. No, no, that sounds great. Really tasting the cumin. The basil. Nah, dude, I'm telling you, bro. Excellent job this weekend, Boogie. I can't wait to link up with you Saturday, man. We'll go ahead and knock out some more big bets. Homies, yo, thanks for kicking it here with us, man. You guys are the greatest. Thanks for watching us. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.